Hi, blessings, everyone. It's Tuesday, the 3rd of August, and I'm experiencing insights into the new earth, and um, this freedom that comes through when we're living in this higher vibration. Um, so, the recognition that everything is available to us, that everything is connected, and this interconnectedness is creating a great deal of unity, and anything in terms of our lives and our needs will be available to us. So it's a very abundant lifestyle, and I should know this because I've been living in it really since 1990, but it's been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I felt it over the past, since I published my book in 2005, I felt the abundance coming in, and I was provided with a home. I was told not to worry about anything, and I was really gifted with a beautiful space for me to live in and to share and to write and do what I do, my art. So what I'm seeing this morning is how it's unifying, and the earth is becoming more and more real in terms of this higher source of energy. When it comes to money, everything is in divine flow, so we're receiving what we need, and there isn't any necessity for money as we know it now. When I say now, I'm talking, that's maybe going into time really, but the energy is available to us if we seek it out, or if we want it, it will come in. We just need to ask for it. So we'll be provided with what we need. And there's a real feeling of surrender and being able to live from a source of energy that's connected in with the ancients and our ancient roots. So everything takes on a harmony and a balance where we're able to trying to get the right words here. We're not consuming, we're actually organically living. So we would be baking our own bread and cooking from a place that's connected with the earth, plant-based foods, living and sustaining ourselves from inside, being self-sustaining. It's very powerful. The process that we're in is so organic in terms of our evolution and who we truly are. The light body, the crystalline energy, crystalline body is coming through to really lighten up life, and also to allow us to feel this sense of equanimity and balance that is very freeing for us. So we are living in service to Mother Earth, living in service to humanity, where we're available to share our gifts and able to recognize that there is a balance that comes from this freedom and deep love for Mother Earth and for one another. The words are coming through slow. So it's it's really interesting. We're organically returning to who we truly are. And whoa, I can really feel it in the bones. And my bones have been changing so much over this past 3 years. And when I lie down to rest at night, I can feel that it's like the bones are dissolving, and I'm resting in a place which feels it feels as if I'm connecting with the light in the bones, the light body, this crystalline body. So if I put my head on my shoulder will disappear. The bones will also move, where there's a feeling of alignment coming through in the bones and my structure. It's quite something. So ultimately it brings more flexibility, more light in terms of how we experience life, and also there's a deep sense of unity again with who we truly are. The frame, the teeth, which is a big one for me at the moment, the mouth, it's all coming into balance and aligning with Source and with the new Earth, with Gaia, down into the core of Gaia and these crystalline forms. It's fascinating. For a number of years I've been seeing crystalline cities appearing. They come and go, but I was over a river a few years ago, and on a walk, and I stopped and was looking at the reflection in the river, and it was really beautiful because lots of trees around. And when I looked in the river, I could see a crystalline structure in the river, and it looked like a crystalline I was feeling it was like a crystalline city that was showing itself to me. And it was probably at a time where, going into time, where everything was starting to change. So it's this feeling of how everything is timeless, but also being aware that it's not actually, I'm not actually experiencing it through the buildings and it's difficult to put into words. Architecture is really fascinating for me, and there has been a lot of new architecture in Edinburgh which is a reflection. I'm sure this is happening in lots of old cities, but they reflect the light into the old city energy. I felt it really strongly when I was in Paris. In Edinburgh, it doesn't. It's not so strong. The old city in Edinburgh is extremely settled in this feeling of being an ancient city. And there's a city underneath the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, which people can visit if they want to go on a tour. I don't advocate that, actually, because I don't feel that it should be disturbed. And the tours tend to be commercial. So there's this feeling of the sacred, and also this invasion. It feels like an invasion of the sacred to me. I experience it a lot, and I experience it personally in my own energy system. It's really, really powerful. It can be extremely painful as well. But this energy that I talk about, and if you're listening, you'll be able to recognize it, that it is something that has happened on Earth over the past few years. The sacred temples, a breakdown of the old traditions in terms of prayer, and also this need to recognize that the land that's holding the temples is actually moving and changing. So the buildings will break and the stone will fall apart, but the actual deeply sensitive energy that I experience when I go into these places is still there. It's in its core. So there's many spaces that have been created for that purpose of prayer that are changing. A big one for me has been Notre Dame over the past 2 or 3 years. I was really shocked about the fire in Notre Dame because I experienced something extremely unique and very powerful when I visited there. And it filled me with so much joy. The cathedral is astonishing, the energy in it. Amazing doorways as you go towards the cathedral that are really huge doors. I mean, Paris for me is extremely huge in terms of architecture, energy and expansion, and the feminine, because there are sculptures of women and women's faces all over Paris that I saw, just set in a building, set in stone. So Notre Dame is extremely powerful, and I've been sending energy to the restoration that's happening there. I've been feeling very sad as well because I wanted to go back to Paris, and I would like to spend some time there, but I would always be around Notre Dame, and it's the Latin Quarter of Paris, so it's near the Sorbonne University, and there's lots of students, and it's very creative. It's really magical. So as you can hear, I have a love for Paris. Edinburgh is different. It feels more dense to me, but the old part of the city is very, very special as well. So anyway, I've got carried away with that, but it is connected with what's happening in terms of our earth changing, our ability to really recognise within ourselves that ancient root that I talk about and the gifts that come from this source. It's really beautiful. Ancient prayer. So I would recommend listening to really authentic ancient prayers as we organically process this embodiment that we're experiencing. So on that note, I'll just finish with a prayer. Ishmalaletin alaleti tun alalei oshun yalai ish matin alala ushun ishun un. Blessings for the breath of life, unity and joy. Ashmalala ish un. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.